Hello. How
We
are
are
you?
back. Oh, I'm lovely. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in black. I'm very slimming. I'm sure I'm not wearing anything that, conflicts with the backdrop. Oh, that's right. I don't have a backdrop. I went old school. I actually built all of this just for
Whoa,
today.
I need to get a backdrop. But we do have a picture of Vedic meditation stories.
There you
That's an
go.
ebook you can check out. It is free if you have unlimited Kindle. If not, it's only $10 and all the monies go to the nonprofit. If you do have those, just open it up first time and flick through as many pages as possible.
There you
And the
go.
nonprofit will get some benefit towards helping bring meditation and wellness to underrepresented groups. But we're here for part two with Cosmic Chats with John Edwards.
Hello, everybody. Good to be
Hi.
back.
John is going to remind you about liking and subscribing.
That's right. You have to like and subscribe to Cosmic Chats. I'm going to point. This will be edited later, so I'm going to be awkward
Just do
here.
this. Nothing is edited. It's all the way it is. So,
See, it's real. This is the real stuff, people.
we don't
None
play.
of
We
this
don't
glossy
play.
glam. It's the authentic stuff, the good stuff.
So this is the bonus section, the fun section, where we find out a little more quirky things about John Edwards, the Tom and Jerry writer, the Disney freelance writer, come on, let's say, what is the name of your production company? Come on, bring it out.
It's Luminous Blue Limited, which I've been recently informed sounds like a porn name.
It sounds, does it not sound like, did you set up the P.O. box in Chatsworth?
No, it's in the Valley. World.
It is in the Valley, yes, exactly.
We're here in the Bay Area, and everybody knows there's no porn in the Bay Area. There's no sexual diversity here in the Bay Area at all. Nothing unusual.
Stop it. All right.
Sorry.
When you dream that you're flying, how do you fly?
I fly, you know what? I fly outside of planes like a superhero, but I don't have a cape. So it's very like the birds do.
But let me ask you, what happens with your arms?
If the last time I had the flying dream, I think they were just at my side, actually. You would think it would be this sort of thing. I think it's just, it's like I'm just being propelled.
You like a rocket? What is it? Rocket Man? He just goes.
Yeah, I'm like the Rocketeer.
That's it, Rocket.
Which is an awesome movie, completely underrated film that I absolutely love. But I love
you pretty much are a 1950s cartoon, really. Like
I am pretty much. I get that reaction a lot from people. There's such a cartoon.
1950s specifically. Let me ask you this: Is there a food that you really like, but your body says, "Hey up, John"?
A food? Yeah. It would these days. It's pizza. As much as I love pizza, within a few moments, I feel like I've just eaten concrete. It just sits in my stomach so heavy nowadays. I feel horrible afterwards. It's so that's the thing.
You think that's the dairy?
And I don't think so. I don't have an issue with dairy. I don't really have any food allergies whatsoever. I think really what it is I tend to overindulge, and that's the problem. It's not anything inherent in the food. It's just that I tend to go a little.
It's hard with pizza not to.
It is. It tastes so good, and then by then there are some that are, let's face it, some that are greasier than others, and that really weighs on it. The age probably doesn't help anything either.
They'll also tell you, oh, it's not great unless it's greasy.
Yeah, no, I've never been a big subscriber to that one because that's
Where in the world would you like to visit that you haven't?
I would love to visit England.
That's like the third person in the last few months.
Well, it's because supposedly my peeps came from there, and I've never been there. And so I've always wanted to go. It's always seemed very romantic to me to visit castles and ruins and actually try to find those areas where my ancestors came from. I've actually been looking up. Some of my peeps are from Wales and Scotland and that area. So I've been trying to figure out which tartan is our like family clan thing. And I think I may have actually narrowed it down, but I would love a chance to go and actually walk in those spaces. And
walk in the valley boil. Yes. Well,
There
my
you go.
background are the Welshies, hence I use a lot of my hands when I talk, and the Scots. Hence I used to drink a lot of whiskey.
My favorite drink actually is whiskey. Love the whiskey. That's this is a Kentucky thing too, because we do.
Yes, you do this thing called bourbon.
I do.
I could not get my head around it when I first came to America.
I forget. It's like the champagne thing. Like it can only technically be called bourbon if it's from certain areas, or whiskey if it's from certain areas, even though it's like the same drink, right? It's like champagne is only.
There's a slight difference, and those of you who know about it, please put it in the comments, because
right.
I remember when I was first working a party. That's right, I was under 21 serving drinks. First of all, I didn't understand why you want ice in your whiskey.
I don't. I didn't. I have, but I typically am. I don't. I just go whatever that's called. It's not on the rocks. Whatever the opposite of on the rocks is.
And then
off the rocks.
You ask if they want a bourbon. I'm like, oh, what? Don't you just have Scottish whiskey or Irish whiskey? What else is there? That
must be it. I think it's whiskey if it's from Scotland, maybe. If you have thoughts, comments. Write the comments. Subscribe.
No, it's an American thing. If it comes from certain parts in America, it's called bourbon.
Yeah, then that would be the Kentucky thing, because that's what it's referred to. Well, it's referred to as both. It gets confusing because they put both on the label. So you're like, I don't know. I like it. Just give it to me. I just ask for Jim Beam. That's all I know. It's just give me the Jim Beam. I don't need to know.
But I will say I used to carry a lot of Jim Beam bottles in my hand. Anyway.
It's good stuff.
Apart from drinking yourself through the British Isles
That's right.
On a trip, do you have any nicknames you were given as a child?
Yes, my first nickname that stuck with me for a long time was Fang. I got that in middle school because of my canines. Although on camera they don't look like. I mean, they may not look that big on camera, but in middle school, apparently they were prominent. So compared to my classmates, because that's what they called me, and that name stuck. So I became Fang. And
all right. What about your triplets? Did you give them any names?
You know what? No, actually. Fletcher, my son, I'll occasionally call Fletch. I'll just shorten his name. That's not really a nickname. That doesn't really count as a nickname. And then the other two, no, actually, I just call them by their names. Actually, so they don't really have nicknames. They may actually have nicknames for each other, but I don't actually use them. So
when they were younger, did you ever dress them up as thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3?
No, but we always have the best time trying to figure out what we're going to do for Halloween, because we're big into the whole theme kind of stuff. And so I think one year, and we haven't done this yet, but I still want to do it, is I want to go as Three's Company. I want to dress them up as like, Jack and Chrissy and Janet, and I'll be like Mr. Roper, and back when I was married, my wife would have been Mrs. Roper, and we would have done that whole thing. But they're into some shows now, so they kind of pick their own costume. They'll tell me what they want to do for Halloween. So one year was Breaking Bad, and they were walking around in the yellow hazmat suits. Yeah, Father of the Year award. Was Breaking
looking
Bad.
Like a mess.
Yeah, right. Well, no, but the worst part was I was going to try and find some blue rock candy. Yeah, I'm this, Child Protective Services is going to see this, and I'm over. I'm done.
Mint. Like, have you heard of Fox's Glacier mints?
No.
They're English, or they're clear mint,
blue?
But you can, yeah. And so you could just make a sheet of like mints and just.
Yeah. Have them walking around with like beakers and flasks and things. It's like, oh no. I actually went as Walter White one year. I shaved my head, had a bandage over my nose, and did the whole thing. Because the sad thing is, I actually look a lot like him. When I've shaved my head and I have the right glasses and everything, I can pull off the Walter White look. So we did that one year.
How did it go down?
The kids are going to end up on like Oprah or some sort of talk show or a therapist's couch at some point. I just know it, but it seems fun now. But
right, as a writer, I have to ask you this one: is there a favorite phrase you like to say It doesn't have to be in English.
Ah.
Something that is near and dear to your heart.
I think, it was like ice cream in your ears. And I may not be quoting that exactly, but it's a line from Ray Bradbury. And it was one of the things that has always stuck with me. And one of the things I love about Bradbury the most is the very visual, lyrical nature of how he writes. And that's always stuck. I mean, how can you not, you get that sensation right away, and you get exactly what he was talking about. And so whenever I'm writing, that quote always pops up. It's like, is whatever I'm writing as good as that? Is it as descriptive as that? Is it as visceral as that? So that's when I always come back to, even off the top of my head, as you can see. I probably could have come up with something.
What does it mean though?
More.
What does the phrase mean?
It means something that is absolutely delicious, like purely delicious, that you can enjoy it. It's a rapture. It's like a rapturous sort of experience, whatever it is. And in this case, it was about sound. It was about something coming out of the radio. It was like ice cream for your ears. And it was comparing one sensation to express another one,
Sensation of taste and auditory.
Yeah, because I think there are different values to sensations, right? Like if you talk about the way ice cream tastes, everybody kind of really gets that. But I don't know that there are as many ways to describe what you're
hearing. Banana.
A banana. A banana.
And there we are. Back to the beginning of episode 1.
Here we go.
Those of you who have enjoyed having John chat, please pop your comments down. Say, bring him back. Bring him back. Bring John back. He was like ice cream to my ears.
I've even told you exactly what you need to say. Even it's so easy. It's so easy to subscribe and comment. How can you not, right?
How can I not? Well, thank everyone for watching us. Please subscribe. Please help support the nonprofit. We want to get that mark to move forward. And feel free to check out any of the other chats. We've got a wonderful example of different people from different walks of life, all attempting to reach out and hear different people's perceptions of life and how their events change them and the perception to help make the world a better place. And thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to your next productions and seeing you all on the Cosmic Chat in the chat.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.